Hello everyone. In this chapter, we continue our adventure into the third P, place, by drilling down into the key marketing intermediaries, retailing and wholesaling, as well as the major process that supports both, logistics. As we review the concept of retailing, please consider the retailers as well as the wholesalers and distributors go through similar stages as do products. If you remember from our PLC, the product life cycle, they do go through introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. But never before have we seen the latter stage decline affecting so many brick and mortar entities supplanted by other members of the intro and growth stages. Typical of marketing and other disciplines, a concept like retailing can be broken down into an infinite amount of ways. Here, we've used type as one way to segment retailers. Besides selection, price, and physical size of the building, we can further examine another characteristic, service. From self-service to full-scale assistance from salespeople, the amount of service will affect the aforementioned retail variables. And, of course, there are plenty of hybrids among those listed in the outline. Yet another way to distinguish retailers is by their organizational structure. This slide describes the major structures in which retailers group themselves. Please note that the franchise organization, can you guess which company has been voted the #1 franchise according to entrepreneur.com? Well, if you considered quick service response restaurants, QSRs, you'd be right. The top 4 are all QSRs: Dunkin', Taco Bell, McDonald's, and Sonic. And as we mentioned in Chapter 11, the leading franchisees are all consistent in their product offerings and quality. If you look at the last item on the organizational slide, merchandising conglomerates, you'll see that I'm going down memory lane. From the not-too-distant past, the Federated Department Stores, now known as Macy's, consisted of many well-known full-service retail departments, store brands with popular USA home bases, and then acquired by Federated. To me, these names, from Shillito's in Cincinnati to I. Magnin in San Francisco, Marshall Field's in Chicago, and from my hometown, Columbus, Lazarus, these names and locations were magical. As we know, there are many ways to sell a product other than out of a building. Here are some examples. Probably the hottest non-store retailer, you might agree, is the direct-to-consumer or D2C entity. Everything from pillows to razor blades to underwear. Many of these upstarts are then acquired by a much larger company, but then allowed to operate somewhere independently. If you only had to worry about the product or service offered, life would be so simple. That is not the case, of course, as the retailer is faced with many decisions about how to make the product/service available to the consumer. Let me use Wendy's as an example. Here is a famous retro commercial, Where's the Beef, and some product placement in the movie with Adam Sandler, Mr. Deeds.
It certainly is a big bun.
It's a very big bun.
Big fluffy bun.
It's a very big fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, we serve a hamburger we modestly call a single. And Wendy's single has more beef than the Whopper or Big Mac. At Wendy's, you get more beef and less bun.
Hey, where's the beef? I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better. You're Wendy's kind of people.
I'm so happy I got the Big Bacon Classic. Thanks for stopping, buddy. This is unbelievable.
Happy to do it, Dee.
How's that frosty treating you, Cecil? You got some in your beard. I'm just kidding you. I got him big time there.
So as we look at Wendy's, we can focus on several of the key decision points that a retailer must make. Communications. You saw a couple. Social media is also important to Wendy's, as well as the TV spots, from hot and juicy to where's the beef to we got you. Store atmosphere, as you can see by the slide, back in the day, 1969 and so on, two major changes from the yesteryear theme to the sleek red 2012 overhaul of Wendy's stores. You can see the difference in terms of the tabletops, the buildings themselves, and the packaging of the food. Target market, of course, as we said, is quick service restaurants. The drive-through and on-premise market prefers a medium-priced hamburger, chicken, or whatever with sides. Nothing fancy, something that tastes decent and middle-priced. As far as channels/locations are concerned, there are over 6,700 stores in the Americas and some in Asia. The majority of them are franchises, mostly standalone, but also in malls. The product assortment, as we said, multi-size hamburgers, a variety of chicken sandwiches, fries, chili, frosty, etc. They also have recently offered breakfast incorporating 19 items. As far as prices are concerned, you can probably get a full meal. That is the sandwich, fries, and a drink, well under $10 to 99 cents for their value menu meals. And last but not least, services. What they do have are open kitchens. You can see what's being cooked. Of course, they have their drive-through and on-premise. And just like everybody else, they're offering third-party delivery services. Switching to the next major market intermediary, wholesalers, there are many types of these, as noted in the outline, differentiated by their level of service and available functions and processes. The OEMs complain about wholesalers not promoting their products, running out of stock, charging too high of a price. Of course, there are some limitations where the manufacturer can insist upon a certain price point, not below or higher, and what they want to obviously continue to create a good image of that brand. Most wholesalers in general pay lip service to marketing. One major exception is Grainger, a leading MRO, which stands for, of course, Materials Repair and Operations Company. And here's a commercial that they've had within the recent years. And again, they are one of the few, if not only, wholesalers that spend an inordinate amount of money on advertising and use some high-priced marketing firms to do that.
With over 900,000 products, Grainger is working hard to deliver the right solutions for the ones who get it done. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Last but not least, in order for retailing and wholesaling to work, you need logistics, a military term that is still in vogue, and as we had mentioned in the last chapter, is incorporated within the entire SCM or supply chain umbrella. It really wasn't part of marketing, but in order for marketing to work, you need logistics. The product must move whatever form, from factory to distribution center to the warehouse, retailer, consumer. And speed and cost are key metrics, with companies like Amazon promising same-day, 2-hour delivery. All the details are in the outline for this slide, but as we leave Chapter 13 in our discussion of retailers, wholesalers, and this particular topic, logistics, please watch this commercial from a major player in the area. Note how many components of logistics are displayed, and we will see you next time.
Logistics makes the world work better.
When it's planes in the sky for a chain of supply, that's logistics. When When the parts for the line come precisely on time, that's logistics. A continuous link that is always in sync, that's logistics. Carbon footprint reduced, bottom line gets a boost, that's logistics. With new ways to compete, there'll be cheers on Wall Street, that's logistics.